Old girl, yeah, around noon I called to see how she was. Like, more time went by in the morning and I was like, well, no phone call must be good. Because they would have called me if her blood work wasn't good and whatnot. And they expected her to be done by 11, so I called around noon and they're like, yeah, she's fine. Like, she went through very well. And she's just very sleepy right now, so probably won't be able to pick her up till 2:30. So about 2:45 they called and was like, yeah, come pick her up. So I went over to get her. And I was expecting, you know, like, a lot of work to have been done. 'Cause she's never had her teeth checked before, and the way she's rubbing her face on stuff and drooling, I thought, well, there's probably damage, probably have to have extractions. But it ended up being nothing except for the cleaning and the polishing and the anesthesia and all that and the imaging, all like. So yeah, so there was no extractions or anything, so I didn't have to worry about like special diet after or anything. She did have her cyst removed. She had a little cyst on her lip that's popped and come back, so I figured, well, she was already going to be out, we might as well have it removed fully. And yeah, Nicholas wants out, and I'm like, no, I'm going to bed soon. So, because if I let him out, he'll be locked out in the porch for the night. Yeah, Minnow's having some milk right now. So yeah, they had cyst removed, so that's like, she's got 2 stitches. She's got to go back in 2 weeks to get removed. So yeah, but she's doing a lot better than like when she first came back. She was a little woozy and whatnot. I wanted out of the cage, so I let her on her leash I figured she'd walk right to the house, but no, she wanted to go sit by our basement windows, and that was alright. I'm like, okay, I'll let you enjoy yourself. This is where you want to be. But then she started hunting a bee, so we kind of like, nope, come in. So yeah, she ate almost a whole pork chop. I had a big pork chop I offered her some of, and I didn't get very much of it. Yeah, she's had some milk now. She's one of the cats that doesn't have problems with dairy. I think she's an ex-barn cat, so I think that's a lot of it. But yeah, so we had just gave her first dose of anti-inflammatory. Only got 2 pre-measured syringes because she didn't have any extractions or anything. It's just, you know, the stitches. Like, she's on Medicam, but once a week anyway. Like, these are the pre-measured syringes. And that was a thing. They told me to just use what I already had, but the thing is, I only have like, she only gets 4 of these, like 4 notches instead of what on the prescription was 5. And I figured the bottle's getting quite low. So I figured there's probably only, with the extra bit, that there'd only be about 2 doses left in the bottle. So, I tried to explain that, and they're like, well, that I'd have to pay for her prescription now. And it's like, I couldn't afford it, because the big bottle of her Medicam that she gets as a prescription that lasts about 2 months is $70. And that was more expensive than I planned to cost today. So, yeah, finally, like, they had the vet talk, because they were like, well, we'll see if you can charge it or not. Because they've instituted a new policy that they don't like to charge things, and there's Liddy. because so many people weren't paying their debts, and it's like, oh. So, and she asked me how often I'd give her from her prescription bottle. I'm like, well, only but once a week. She's like, well, isn't, like, well, then that should be fine, doesn't it? And it's like, when I told her, I'm like, well, on the discharge paper, they want me to give from that. And then she's like, well, that's easy, we'll just give you some pre-measured syringes. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I thought they were going to give me anyway. She's like, well, they probably figured where you weren't, where you already had some, that there's no point in reselling you some of the syringes. So, I only paid $11 for 2 syringes of the extra little bit of dose. Then would be $70 to have to get her enough of her bottle of prescription, so she'd have enough for till the end of the month. So, but no, it was like, I was trying to explain it. It's like, so eventually they finally, like the vet, because they got new receptionists, so it's kind of, you know. But, because usually when they have a procedure like that, or if Nick's had it before from when he had his urinary problem, and also when he fell off the fridge. This is a generic, you know, what they give for pain medication short term. And, so yeah, I just figured, you know, that's what I'd be paying for. Like, just at least a couple of them, if not more, because if she had to have extraction, then I would expect more. But overall, it would be less than the $70 for a full bottle. But so yeah, they gave me the 2 pre-measured ones with the extra bit. Like, as you see, focus. She gets that much, and these were filled up to that much. But yeah, she does really well on this. Has to go for blood work every year for it, because I used to be on meloxicam, which is the type of anti-inflammatory this is, and the side effects are scary, possible side effects. Yeah, like, I was really leery about having her on this, but in the winter, I was giving it to her every twice a week, and like usually on a Wednesday and a Saturday, but now it's not, where it's summer and everything, she's quite rambunctious. In the warmer weather, she's only beginning it about once a week. So it's good, like, I noticed she's more active, since starting it. And able to jump more. Like tonight she jumped on the freezer, the deep freeze. And this was when she was still had a little bit of her anesthesia thing. And I'm like, no, get down. Like, but, let her do pretty much what she wanted. Yeah, she had some ice cream. It was a whole pork chop, and then some milk with her pain medication. So I don't have to worry about special food. She won't eat soft food. That was one of my concerns. But where there's no change in diet, because she didn't have to have any extractions, we're golden. Yeah, she gets one of these every 24 hours. She got stitches, and they said if she was rubbing her face, because she's will rub her face against stuff. That was one of the concerns why I actually scheduled the procedure. So if she starts rubbing it against stuff, I'm going to have to get one of the soft collars tomorrow. Like, she was doing it against the cage tonight, and it's like, Minnow, this is your warning. Leave the fucking cage alone. Because I don't want to have to drop like $10 on a collar to put on you. But yeah, she's doing really good. I was so stressed this morning. I was like ready to throw up from being stressed. Like, I was so worried. But this is good. Like, they told me that she probably won't have to have another one as long as I keep, like, you know, the teeth brushing and what. So yeah. My little girl. Nice clean teeth.